oh my God, like this is hard. No, when you give yourself that grace and to just be and figure it out, it's easier for you to see how you can make this change. Hey guys, today I want to talk about how you can continually improve and see success day after day, week after week without burning out. And this is something that I use to continue to level up and how I can make progress without always feeling like it's a giant leap. And that's by having trial periods. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. You can do it in bite sized pieces. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys today about that process that I use. Too many people set these really extreme goals and expect to be like good to go running through things really like overnight, and then they get burnt out really quick. And I know that this used to be me because probably because I'm an Aries moon, but I'd be like overnight, I'm like, it's over, it's done, next. Like I'm a new person. And then after a week or two, I would completely burn out and it would stop. And I was in that cycle for a little bit, but piloting my new habits, I was better able to transition a lot easier into habits and keep them a lot easier. So let's talk about why this approach works and how I do it. First of all, let's talk about the power of a trial period. So, like I was saying, when I would decide that I wanted to make a change in my life, at first I would usually be like, all right, on Monday, we're starting gym 6 days a week, waking up 5 a.m., eating clean. Okay, we're doing a million different things all at once. And I would get exhausted and I would get burnt out so quick. And then it would not be something that I would be able to sustain. And I like to think of the rubber band analogy. So if you have a rubber band and it can stretch to this far, and then overnight you're like trying to stretch it all the way out here, when that rubber band snaps back, that rubber band pops, it's going to hurt. It's going to be intense because you try to stretch the rubber band too far, too quick. You have to do more gradual expansions of the rubber band, which is like your life, your container. In order to expand your container to be able to handle more habits and whatever you're trying to do more of and more consistently, you have to slowly expand that container. You don't have to jump into overnight. And some habits you may change overnight, like for sure. But not every single thing in life needs to be flipped overnight. And I know sometimes our patients can want us to figure it out overnight, but it's not actually realistic for the human experience. So instead of thinking I have to make changes overnight, I do a pilot approach. I'll test out new habits before I fully commit to like what that my full-fledged idea of what that would look like of maintaining that habit. And this lets me figure out how I can fit this habit into my life without all this pressure of maintaining something that's just too rigorous to keep up with. So instead of jumping into working out 5 days a week, I would just start with just being able to maintain 3 days a week. And then once I've been consistent, like perfectly consistent for a month or two, I've worked out the kinks, then I can up it to 4 days a week. And then this builds confidence and it makes showing up effortless because you've already got the start of the habit down. You've run through the pilot. You made sure that there was no more kinks in whatever the issues were that were coming up during your pilot. You're more easily able to integrate the change. Small, steady progress beats those big overhauls most of the time. I'm always stretching my container for more, but it's in a way that feels doable to me. And like I said, some changes can happen overnight, right? Sometimes we quantum leap for real. But a lot of things, it's going to be, especially the more mundane things, they're going to be those more subtle changes that happen gradually over time. So like when I started back on my YouTube, this was in November, I committed myself to one video a week. Now I knew that I definitely wanted to be posting more than once a week, but I just wanted to get back into the habit. I wanted to work out the kinks of just showing up one day a week. What is it going to take for me to show up one day a week? And I was able to do that November. Well, it was the end of November. I was able to do that at the end of November. I was able to do it all through December. And then I said, all right, I kept up the habit for over a month and a half. In the new year, we're going to 2 videos a week. And even the first 2 weeks of the year, I was planning like I was doing 2 videos a week, meaning I was filming 2 videos. So I would already have the bank built up. But I knew not until the 3rd week that I was really full-fledged committed to 2 videos a week. And right now, I'm doing 2 videos a week. And I'm already seeing, because I think I would like to get up to 3 videos a week, maybe. We'll see. But I'm seeing that even to really maintain this 2 videos a week, I've got to make more time for writing, because I was only writing 1 day a week for one video. But I'm like, it's a lot of pressure to have to write 2 scripts in one day. But I don't feel any shame. I don't feel any guilt. I don't feel any pressure about how it's going right now because I know that I'm working out the kinks for 2 videos a week. I know I could show up for 1 video a week. That's easy now. I got that down. But right now, I'm working out the kinks for 2 videos a week. And by the end of this quarter, oh baby, I'll be a master at 2 videos a week. Now, what I will say though is that you are embodying the change from day one. Like you are that person. Like if you say you want to be a runner, you may not be running, 3 days a week, 3 miles each time. But even as you are starting out doing 1 run a week or 2 runs a week and it's only half a mile, you're still already claiming that you're a runner. You're already embodied in that person. You already believe you are that person, but you understand and you're giving yourself the grace to figure it out. Or if you're giving yourself like a new work schedule, you're fully committed in your mindset that like I'm making this change. But you are disciplined enough and you love yourself enough and you trust yourself enough to know that you can just that this is also a pilot. So really it's kind of also what it is it's like having grace for yourself, really. It's to me it's structured grace. And I used to be an engineer, so like I sometimes think of things in a way that are a little more structured than maybe some other people, but it's because I like that structure and I like putting labels on things and I like knowing what things are. And instead of feeling like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this right now and like this is a pilot program. If you I'm we've all probably worked somewhere where they had a pilot program at your job of like figuring out a new system or whatever, and everybody had more grace. Everybody was paying attention more to see where things were going wrong and how everything could be seamless in the future. And that's really what you're doing when you're trying to add more habits. You're piloting it. You're giving yourself, it's really just about giving yourself that grace to figure out how to embody that next level. Because mentally, like I said, we've already decided that we are that person, but now it's the physical that has to catch up. Like when I was figuring out my workout schedule last year, and actually it's about to change now, so we're gonna have to pilot that. But last year, I was like, okay, I can show up this day, and this day. It's easy to show up this day at this time. Okay, it's been hard for me to show up on Thursdays because I have a meeting at 2. So, and then I worked around all of that to figure out how can I show up consistently. All right, I had my pilot, I got my feedback. These were the barriers that came up. How can I now overcome those barriers, or how can I now shift things so it's easier for me to show up when I'm supposed to show up for this new habit? You want to test, tweak, and adjust. And when you give yourself this grace, the solution to being able to be more productive will show up easier because you're not in the energy of the problem. When you're in the energy of the problem, you're like, I can't do this. Like, oh my God, like this is hard. No, when you give yourself that grace and to just be and figure it out, it's easier for you to see how you can make this change. It's like time expands and when you magically stop trying to force things. Sometimes you need structure and sometimes you need flow. And the only way you know when you need structure and when you need flow is when you test it out. And you're not mad at yourself when you figure out here, okay, girl, you actually needed structure there. Or you're like, dang, I need to loosen up a bit there. I need flow. There was a season when I followed the 12-week work year. That's a book, to the T. And it burnt me out. I was showing up like this every single day, Monday through Friday, like and on the weekends catching up to anything that wasn't done, and it burnt me out. And so now I found a way to increase my capacity without burning myself out or feeling guilty, or it was just a very masculine way. The 12-week work year was very masculine. I needed it for that season that I was able to finish it, which is like crazy to me. I'm like, dang, 12 weeks, you went that hard. But it was because I wasn't as intuitive as I am now. I wasn't as tapped in as I am now and relaxed to be able to allow myself to flow more and trust my flow. So I needed it at that time, but now I know that it's really best for me to have that trial period of a few weeks or literally trialing a new goal for an entire quarter, to know how I can best fit this into my life. And again, this does not mean you're not showing up or this means you get a pass. If you're looking for a pass, you're looking for an excuse not to do the thing, that's not what this is. I'm not talking to those people. I can't. You just got to get up and do it. But I'm talking to the people who are always continually trying to do more, trying to do better, expand their capacity And this is just a way to help expand your capacity without feeling guilty and ease into it. Okay. Especially for my ladies. Like, okay, I'm a lady. I'm in my feminine, babe. Like, I want to ease. I want to flow. I have a little bit of structure, but I want to ease into it. I want to figure it out. There's no shame in figuring out how to be a more productive person. And some habits will take longer to lock in, and that's okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was supposed to get on YouTube Q1 of last year, first quarter of last year. And what did I tell y'all I got on here? November. Yes. So Q1, I was trying to figure out. And I think Q1, I posted some videos. I posted here and there. I was figuring it out, but I wasn't really ready to show up for real until Q4. And when I did in Q4, it was like, bam, gone. I have to slow down, and I've not. But I had to figure that out. You don't have to get everything right immediately. You can take some time and some space. It's okay. Um, you're right on time for everything that is yours. You don't need to rush. And as a Taurus midheaven, okay, I've learned that small, consistent steps are always going to be better than trying to make these giant leaps that you just can't maintain. And it compounds. I talk about this all the time. It always compounds. All your skills, all your habits, all your productivity, everything is going to compound. Even if you're just showing up a little bit every week, it's one day a week of whatever. It's whatever. But all of that is going to compound. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, how I've been able to expand my capacity for my habits and my productivity and just being able to do more of the things that I say that I want to do. And it's just been gradual steps and giving myself grace. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.